Arsenal 3, Manchester United 0. Let's just get straight into this. Louis van Gaal is the problem. I don't care what anybody says on the United stand. We always say it how it is. This is my opinion. Louis van Gaal today has shown exactly why we won't be winning the title this season, because he is tactically inept and arrogant. Did the tactics preview show with you on Friday night and said the way to beat Arsenal, it's not rocket science. I'm not even blowing my own trumpet or anybody else who joined in. The way to beat Arsenal at the Emirates is to keep the midfield and the defence tight, keep deep for the first 20 minutes, hit them on the break. So what does Louis van Gaal do? Arrogantly decides we'll play a high line. I'll actually make there be a massive gap between my defence and midfield as well. I'll get Schweinsteiger and Carrick to push up against the defence of Arsenal, and we'll leave a huge gap in between the defence. We'll play a high line as well, and we'll be 3-0 down, and I'll wonder what's happening. And the fantastic thing about it was 3-0 down after 20 minutes. Wenger is totally... He can't believe it. It's his birthday. He's got his big coat open. Woohoo! And he's there like thinking, what? And Louis van Gaal has had his pants totally pulled down and then decides to sit there for the next 25 minutes till half-time with his big arse out, not doing anything about it. Absolutely inept tactically, arrogant. And if you've got a man like that as your manager, you're always going to struggle. We've done fantastic up until this point. He can't state tiredness. What if he comes out and says tiredness? That's his own fault. He's the idiot who played the first team in the Coca-Cola Cup. He's the idiot who didn't make any more signings in the summer. He's the idiot who cleared deadwood correctly but didn't bring players in. And he's the idiot who, when Luke Shaw gets injured, we're playing Ashley Young at left back because we've got nobody else. He takes Darmian off at half-time to bring Valencia on, who's rubbish at right back. I mean, Darmian's just another Herrera. He's turning Darmian into another Herrera, a scapegoat. Poor old Darmian's playing fantastic at left back. He pulls him over to right back. He doesn't know whether he's coming or going. He got put on toast. I mean, I was getting the Marmite out after 20 minutes because Arsenal had our back four on toast, quite literally. But, I mean, that is just inexcusable. We've lost that game because of Louis van Gaal. Yes, there was a number of bad performances, but we lost that game because of Louis van Gaal. Arsenal aren't even a good team. They're jelly babies. They're spineless. I'll applaud them for winning today, but they didn't have to do much because Louis van Gaal, we may as well not turned up. He gave them the game in the first 20 minutes with bad tactics. This is a tirade, says Brian Nairo. Definitely. Let's click into the goals then. First goal, mistake by Blind. Has the ball in the penalty box, tries to do a little pass to Memphis about 5 yards away from him. We're 6 minutes in, get rid of the ball. Memphis doesn't get the ball. Arsenal score the goal. The second goal, breakdown in the midfield. Midfield really poor. I think it's Rooney who gets turned. The midfield are nowhere. They let Ozil go. The ball goes into Walcott, who just messes around with Blind. Blind's not tight on him. Locks it back. Ozil scores. And then the third goal is totally Darmian's fault. But where is Morgan Schneiderlin? I said midweek, Morgan Schneiderlin has to play in this game because we need the pace and energy. It doesn't even bring him on. Is he carrying a knock? I don't know. He'd probably say will do. But the scariest thing of it all is that the game was over after 20 minutes. Often happens. You absolutely destroy a team. The game is over, and then you just go down into third gear, which is what Arsenal did. I guarantee Louis van Gaal will say we were unlucky in the first 20 minutes, and then we took hold of the game. Do not buy this rubbish, Manchester United fans. Do not buy Louis van Gaal's arrogant rubbish about us being back in the game in the second half. We didn't score. Arsenal went down to second gear. And I tell you what, I tweeted it out as well. If a manager's answer to being 3-0 down to Arsenal is Marouane Fellaini, then I don't want that manager at Manchester United. I'm not saying Louis van Gaal out, but he's been there over a year now, and that substitution was a disgrace. Memphis didn't play well. Darmian didn't play well. But Rooney could burn Louis van Gaal's house down at the moment, and Louis van Gaal would thank him for warming it up. Absolutely ridiculous. I back Rooney. I do not understand it. There was a bit of fight in the second half. But I tell you what, I blame Louis van Gaal about this as well. I don't want Man United fans getting onto Rooney's back. Yeah, he's been painfully bad. But Louis van Gaal is the manager. It's like we all go to work. When you're at work, there's somebody lazy there. You get annoyed with the lazy person. It's not the lazy person's fault. It's their boss for not pulling him into line. Rooney needs dropping. Louis van Gaal won't drop him. It's Louis van Gaal's fault, not Rooney's. I'm fed up of it. But let's have a look at some of your comments. Conrad said, how Rooney plays is beyond comprehension. Arsenal are average, says Yagimar. Definitely. Abdul, Carrick is way too slow. I've been saying all week, Carrick or Schweinsteiger have to play. I wanted Carrick to play. Carrick plays, you win. You can't play both of them together. And don't get on Carrick's back. He was actually trying to run the midfield. Schweinsteiger was told by Louis van Gaal for some reason to press Mertesacker and press Coquelin. And it left our midfield, and especially the left side, totally exposed. He had to play Schneiderlin today. Why he didn't do it, I don't know. His tactics were absolutely abysmal, and he lost us that game. Teams will go to Arsenal. They already have, like West Ham. They will sit back, soak up the pressure. Arsenal can't hurt you if you play a deep line with your midfield close. They can't hurt you. Yeah, Sanchez scored a goal from outside the box, and it was a good finish, but he was more or less in the box. They don't score goals from outside the box. They pass the way through you, which is what they did with every goal against us, especially the first two, because we allowed them to do it. Rubbish teams will go to Arsenal and win because they will play deep and they will keep the midfield there and they will hit teams on the break. But Lou Van Gaal decided, I'm arrogant, we can go toe-to-toe in Arsenal's backyard. Idiotic. You don't do it. Chelsea don't do it. Man City don't do it. Crystal Palace or West Ham don't do it. But Louis Van Gaal is too arrogant to do it. I'm disgusted with Louis Van Gaal today. I want to see your comments. Mark, that vein on your head is bulging, says the Draughty Devil. I think it's the light. I'm just furious. One was supposed to press. Bowie Lau, Van Gaal doesn't give a shit about the game. Just sit back and write on your clipboard. Why don't you? The fact that he sat there for a whole half of the game. Martial, let's talk man of the match. Man of the match, you're struggling. It's Chris Smalling or Anthony Martial for me. Smalling, a hero in a bunch of cowards, basically. Everybody just bottled it. Where's the leadership? Even Schweinsteiger was bad today. Nobody gets a free pass, I'm afraid, mate. You were poor today. Rooney, Rooney shouldn't have the captaincy. I'm gutted about Rooney. I'm absolutely gutted. I can't even talk about it. But I blame Van Gaal. I do blame Van Gaal. Louis Van Gaal is the reason we lost, says Louis Gaal. Ahmed, Mata did not help Darmian, says Nabs MU. Yeah, Memphis did not help Ashley Young. Mata did not help Darmian. Darmian's a scapegoat. I feel sorry for Darmian getting hauled off again at half-time when he was doing a job at left-back and filling in for Shaw and doing a fantastic job for the last two games. But Louis Van Gaal likes to demean people, doesn't he? Likes to demean the easy targets. He did it to McNair against Southampton, taking him off in the first half. But you sit on your big backside after 20 minutes when you've got it wrong and let it carry on until half-time. He should, but he's too arrogant to admit he'd got it wrong. He should have took Schweinsteiger off, put Schneiderlin into the midfield, and we would have got back into the game. He didn't do it, and he lost us the game. And I'm absolutely furious with him. And I'll keep coming back to it as well. If your answer is Fellaini, and you're going to come on and give your press conference and say, we were fine after that, you know what? I will not say Louis Van Gaal out because that would be absolutely ridiculous. And I am angry and I am frustrated. I will not say that, but I will say we won't win the title with that man in charge because tactically, he hasn't got a bloody clue about the Premier League. He got found out last year, and you do not go to Arsenal and play like that. And what is Giggs doing? Does he not listen to Ryan Giggs? Ryan Giggs has been to Arsenal for the last 100 years. He knows that, and he clearly doesn't listen to him. You do not do what he did today. I've never been so confident about going to Arsenal and winning, and he just totally didn't do what I expected him to do. You do not do that in the first 20 minutes against Arsenal. Absolute crap. Vivek says Louis Van Gaal is a rubbish manager. Well, he was today. Carrick and Schweini are too slow, says Apex. There's a lot of that. And Van Gaal needs to wake up and sort himself out, says Mark P4020. Yagami says, agreed, sadly, can't see us winning the league. We're not going to win the league. I mean, we're not going to win the league. No way. Let's have a look at some of the things I wrote down in the game. This is the equivalent today. I don't rate Arsenal. We've just lost to pedo Pete Wenger, and he'll be walking around with a big old smile on his face. But this is the equivalent of being the cool kid at school, and the geek comes up to you and kicks your ass. That's what's happened today. Never should have happened. We just got arrogant. We let them have a few free punches, and we got knocked out. Never should have happened. Never should have happened. Absolutely disgusted by it. I'm going to go to some of your comments because the lineup was rubbish, says John Nevins. Young in the back four, seriously. Ball watching. Luke Shaw, injury exposed today. Well, John, I'm glad you brought up that actually because Aaron Ramsey missed a sitter to make it 4-0 in the first half. Ashley Young ends up with two players in no man's land. I mean, this is what I'll keep coming back to. The squad is bare. The squad is bare. It only takes one injury to Luke Shaw, and we're playing Ashley Young at left back. We're bringing Valencia on at right back when Darmian can play anywhere across the back four. Daley Blind was shocking today. I mean, watch the goals back. The first goal, 6 minutes. They're all over us. I actually tweeted out and had to delete the tweet for it because I know Arsenal fans would murder me for it. I said, United are really sloppy, but Arsenal are spineless. We just need to ride this first 20 minutes out. 6 minutes in, a ball comes to Daley Blind. All he's got to do is leather it up. You know, Martial might get on the end of it and cause some damage. He tries to do a 6-yard pass to Memphis, who's got his back to him, and Bellerin hops in and they score. I mean, what is Daley Blind doing there? It's just, this is exactly what I said. 3 things we should not have done today. 1, play a high line. 2, let the midfield get away from our defence. And 3, mess around with the ball in our own half. And we did all 3 things and we're 3-0 down. It's not rocket science. That is not a shock. You play those tactics. Even me, people were tweeting me saying, Mark, Louis van Gaal knows a lot more about football than you. Well, clearly he doesn't know more than me and all the fans who are saying those 3 things you don't do. And that man who gets paid a lot of money to represent and manage our club. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll be here when he's gone. I'll be here when he's long gone. So don't have a pop at Man United fans just because we're fans. We know their tactics, and he got it bang wrong today. And he's an embarrassment. It's absolutely embarrassing to lose that today, because to me that's 3 points dropped. That is 3 points dropped. After 20 minutes, the Emirates was dead. You could hear a pin drop because even they were thinking, "This is the easiest 3 points we've had all season. Is this Manchester United?" I'll tell you what, it's bordering on corrupt. He almost flew that. He almost threw that game to Arsenal. Absolute abysmal. And now we have to endure the international break after that crap, like we did with Swansea, where he got it wrong again, playing bloody Romero in goal. That's 6 points dropped because of Louis van Gaal. It really is. It's all well and good saying Daley Blind do well against rubbish teams, but the truth is Arsenal exploited him, says Huss. Well, Blind was totally at fault for the first goal. He needed to do what a defender does, blast it out, and he tries to play a stupid 6-yard pass. But that comes from Louis van Gaal. If he's telling people to play from the back, he's telling Schweinsteiger to press up on basically Arsenal's back line. I mean, it was just abysmal. We got absolutely mullered. I will not calm down for the 9 o'clock show, but Kev and Alex will be on with me. We'll have the player ratings on that show. Do join us at 9 o'clock. We're doing it differently. We're going to do it differently anyway. On the United Stand 9 o'clock Sunday night at 9. We were going to do it differently this week anyway. I'm not going to set the topics. Watch us live. You will give us the topics on the live show at 9 o'clock. We'll discuss what you want. We're going to interact with you. So do join us again at 9 o'clock for that. But my big message from this is Louis van Gaal screwed up today, and you should come on and apologise. You won't do because you're an arrogant man, but you're rubbish, absolute rubbish today. I'm not saying Louis van Gaal out. Don't some idiot come on there and say that I am. I'll listen to what anybody's got to say if they want to defend him. Like Apex Spark HD says, what pisses me off is that even in the second half, we're still playing possession. He will come on and say we played really well in the second half. He's an idiot. And he's treating Manchester United fans as idiots, because if you don't realise when you're 3-0 up after 20 minutes and you're mullering the other opposition, you go down into the second gear. Arsenal would have gone up again into 5th gear if they needed to. They were just on easy street, and we came back into it. But we didn't really create that much. Rooney's a whole other topic. We'll get into that at 9 o'clock. I'm knackered after that. But Darren Stanex, Martial was marked out of the game. Well, he was the only one getting it. And I'll tell you what, Memphis, you look at the signings that Louis van Gaal does, and he did it last year as well. He signs players, then belittles them in public. Darmian, belittled today. Memphis has been subbed off at half-time loads of times. He did it to Falcao. He did it to Di Maria. He did it to Rojo. His signings, and he belittles them. I don't get the man. It's just arrogant. It's Louis van Gaal. It's Louis van Gaal and not this. Louis van Gaal comes before this in his mind. Disgusted with him. Absolutely disgusted. Anyway, I've ranted long enough. Thanks for watching. If you disagree, comment, and I'll always reply. We always reply on the United Stand. We're back at 9 o'clock. If you don't like it, comment below. But I'll happily reply to why it's... You can get onto Rooney if you want, but I wouldn't even scapegoat Rooney. As I said, Louis van Gaal picks the team, and he's the spineless one for not dropping Rooney. Rooney needs a dropping, and he'll probably come back a better player for it, but Louis van Gaal won't do it. It's his fault. Thanks for watching. See us at 9 o'clock. It is the United Stand. It is your channel. We say it how it is. We want you to as well. See you back at 9 o'clock. Subscribe if you haven't already. Disgrace. Shit.